Brian leaves one position, we got two positions open.
Yeah, I think, first things first, when Greg let me know his intentions, that set the wheels in process of, trying to figure out who would be the best person to lead the offense. And that's where my focus has been. Now we have to make everything fit around it. But that's really kind of what I've been focused on.
Do you consider hiring a quarterback coach? Is that part of the...
Yeah, I'd consider everything right now. I think the biggest thing, my responsibility is make sure that we get everybody in the right seats. First of all, get the right people here, and we have an opening, so we obviously have to look at that position and then, go from there.
How much do you factor in the 10th assistant probably happening?
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. Yeah, it sounds pretty much like it's a given. So I'd like to think that in a perfect world it would have been, in action as of today. I think the guys that just got hired, you think about around the country, all the staffs that just got put in place, it'd be a lot easier to plan if you knew it was going to be 10 or 9, and then go accordingly. So, we can't bank on that, but I will factor that in certainly.
Did Greg's decision surprise you at all? And it seemed like you moved really quickly on this.
Yeah, two things. I developed a motto. I remember going home one night. Yeah, man, I can't remember what happened that day, but I just remember telling Mary that, if I ever come home and say, I'm surprised, just hit me with a pan. I got to be out of my mind, because nothing ever surprises you. You just never know. And in Greg's case, it's not a total surprise by any stretch, but nonetheless, I wasn't quite sure where he was at, and we sat down last Wednesday and, shared a couple pleasantries, but basically the first thing he wanted to let me know was he had come to that conclusion. So, surprise would not be the right word, but just, you're just never quite sure how things are going to go. And my first thoughts are what a career he's had.
Kirk, I think since Brian's been hired, he's actually technically reported to Gary instead
Correct.
of you. Does that stay the same then?
Absolutely, yep.
Okay.
Nothing changes on that front. Yep. Mm-hmm.
How does this stuff work? Are you able to fill positions so swiftly? Are you able to do it with a relative?
Well, I think they've covered the relative part. We've already covered that ground, and I'm sure there will continue to be same stipulations as was just covered in the last thing. No different than what happens in wrestling, happens around the country at other places as well. As far as moving forward, this is really, in my mind, we have not hired a new coach, first and foremost. It's really not a lot different than what we did when Norm retired. Thought about that long and hard, and ended up deciding that Phil was the best person for that job. And I think there are a lot of parallels probably, between the two circumstances. And thought about this option, that option, this option, but kept coming back to Phil, and it made perfect sense. And I think Phil's done more than proven himself as a football coach in that role. And there was growth involved, just like there'd be growth involved in Brian, but it really is kind of the same process. And so we have elevated, we've changed responsibilities. My way of thinking, it would be like switching the two line coaches, whatever. But we still have a coach to hire, certainly, and that'll be the next focus.
Do you anticipate any other changes to your staff over the next few months?
With Greg's announcement to me last week, it opens everything up, certainly. And now the first consideration was, okay, who are we going to get in the coordinator position? Get the right person in that seat, and now we'll work accordingly. What's the best way to move forward? So, just like since last Wednesday, I've been considering everything. I'll continue to do so.
Did you consider any